imagine being in your house for 5 years. Like, it's crazy. And that was what happened in this movie called The Last House. The Last House is a horror and science fiction movie, and it was one of the greatest movies I watched this year. It's gonna teach you a lot. Right now, firstly, I believe that movie taught us about human appreciation, nature appreciation, and the gift of life and freedom. All right, so the movie started well, cool and great. I mean, everything was happening normal until rain started falling, and that rain later became like glue or something like that. But it was more of a supernatural force, and everybody in the house got stalked. So imagine you are locked up in your house with only your food supplies in the house. You can't do anything anywhere else. It was really, really crazy. So I watched that movie. I really, really enjoyed that movie, and I recommend that movie for you if you're into horror, if you're into survival. It's and if you're into family. Now, like in a particular family, Jason's family, he did all he could to protect his family. He made sure that even when food began to reduce and he began to see human nature getting angry from his wife and his kids, all right, Ruth and Graham, you appreciate fathers for being fathers. You appreciate fatherhood. At a point, they had to ration their food because all they had was what was in the stone before they started planting and hunting through their roof to catch animals and fish them back. The whole city was like, you can't break your window, you can't break your wall, you can't do anything, you can't escape, you can't come out. Like, this movie called The Last House was really, really something else because it puts you on survival mood. So a lot of people starved, like people starved in their homes. But this guy, luckily, they broke the ground and they planted, and later on, for 5 years, they survived it. But their children became grumpy, especially the son. They didn't have this freedom. Like, nobody, it was not normal childhood for the kids. They were traumatized, and I understand from their part. But what would you do if you're in that situation? Drop yours in the comments. All right. So The Last House teaches survivor, and the man prioritized his family no matter. That was my favorite character, Jason. He told himself that his job is to keep them alive. Although he was no longer relating like their father, but their protector and provider, and which, of course, is like the basic meaning of a father and a husband. So, what do you think? If you were in that situation, what would you do? They were kind of like sea creatures that locked them, and those sea creatures later began to come to their homes to attack them. Like, it was just epic. So there was a quote in the beginning of the movie. Now, the quote was, "How inappropriate it is to call this planet Earth where it is clearly water." That's the first thing you see before the movie. And the quote was by author C. Clarke. And I believe that's quite true, but let's leave that. So the movie actually had a lot of depth. It thought about family, as I said earlier, and I believe that it is worth watching. It is worth your time. Try and see it. The Last House really had a lot of effect. It gives you that survival instincts and that family stuff. And at the end of the day, he successfully saved his family. None of them perished. Actually, none of them perished in the whole stuff. They fought, they survived, they farmed inside their house. They lived from their attic to their upstairs, downstairs, and to their basement, and they survived beginning to end. So what would you do if you were in that situation? If your house was locked and time to time monsters will come in, you will fight, and like, what would you do? Would you lose your mind, stay in your house for 5 years? And their house was the last house standing. So it was quite epic. And when they came out, oh my god, they were so happy. They were so happy. Drop your ideas and thoughts on this movie, this horror movie. It was actually quite a horror movie and a science fiction movie, in the comment section, and recommend more if you have more. I'm David Movie Reactor. I discuss movies, I react, I review, and I recommend, and I discuss characters. My best character in this movie was nobody else but their father Jason, who really thought he stood as a man and as a leader of that home. Like and subscribe for more, and see you in our next video.